Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 156, A Way Out. In this week's episode, we keep it short. JFG Ash goes full rando.
Unprecedented.
JFG Alex finds his new favourite VR game. There's Games for Gold and PS Plus. And finally, we fuck off.
Cheers then. Hello and welcome to the JFG podcast. This is episode 156. My name is Alex and I'm joined as ever by my very good friend Ash. Hey buddy, how you doing there?
Hey buddy, as always, feeling good on a Wednesday. Yeah, sparkling thoughts give me the hope to go on and
I've
on.
heard that about you. Yep.
I mean, several times I've said that. Must be.
It's been said before.
It's been said before. Yeah, feeling good right now. It's early for us.
Yeah, it is.
This is like an hour before we normally do the podcast. That's because I haven't got any kids to put to bed. Well, there's one getting put to bed right now, but I'm not the one doing it. So good news for me, eh?
Yeah, it don't matter if it's not you, mate.
That's
it.
true. If it's not me, who gives a shit?
Innit?
Oh, indeed.
And you can kind of put that upon a whole of life in general,
Well,
really. If you're not involved, I don't want to hear about
That's
it.
true. There we go. Sorry, I was just checking the chats, making sure the twat chat goes up, and it did. Good news.
Lovely.
Well,
We're live on the internet right
We're on
now,
the
of
internet.
course, on a several different video streaming sites, buddy. One of them's TubeTube, of course. Everyone knows TubeTube, very world famous website. We've also got Twitch.tv as well. There, that's there. Twitch.tv/the JFG podcast, and lesser known little sort of backwater runt of the litter, buddy. Mixer.com, of course. Beam.fucking-pro.
Beam.pro.
You can find us on there as well. We're streaming
done.
on all three as we speak.
indeed, good promotion. Job done. I'll pay you
Got it.
later.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks for the sponsorship.
Reach around or do it.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm there. I'm your
Lovely.
guy. Holy shit, buddy. I've been outside this weekend.
Oh man, because last week you hadn't been anywhere, I don't think, because you had to stay in. You were housebound because of house viewings.
Well, I would still stayed on the property, on the land, we could say. So,
but you just opened up the back door and were like,
and
freedom.
what's outside the back door, mate?
Is it the first one of the year, buddy? Some sort of patio.
Bit of patio chat. Welcome to Patio Chat with your favorite hosts, JFG Ash and JFG Alex. Patio all the time.
What were you doing out there? Talk to me. Tell me.
I washed the patio.
Oh, important at the start of the start of the spring there.
It's a dangerous job because I got the old pressure washer, right? You don't want to slam it too hard because you know all your water and stuff will start coming up. It's a delicate procedure.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, this time I didn't draw any penises in dirt on there.
Well, that would have taken away from the legacy of before, buddy. Had you done it again?
I don't think I could have upped the previous one. That was a good penis.
No.
That was good.
Innit?
Yeah. So yeah, patio update there. Nice and clean.
Beautiful, and obviously it has to be clean because it's one of the world's most famous patios.
Indeed it
with
is.
its own section in a podcast.
Exactly.
A world
it's got
famous
its own
podcast.
fucking jingle.
It's got its own jingle, so it's got to be clean for the start of the year, buddy, because of all of the assorted shenanigans that are going to be happening on there over the
Indeed.
course of the next 9 months or so.
Maybe if I'm still living here, who knows?
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully the patio can go on without you. Are we going to have to retire the section?
I'll have to make a new
Is that your
patio.
top 5 list of things for your new house? Is it's got to have a fucking cool patio?
Yeah, I'll make one.
Or are you looking for a project? Are you looking for one you want to make your own?
Yeah, it's just I just want more patios in my life, mate.
Just wants more.
Just gotta get on those patios. I bought a new T-shirt
Fair.
this week, buddy.
Holy shit,
Another
always
one.
news. Tell us more.
I know, right? This was another steal from our fantastic retailer Game.
Lol.
They're amazing. But yeah, they had some t-shirts on sale for £5 again. I was like, hello, t-shirts. I'll buy one of you. And it's a Monster Hunter t-shirt.
Oh.
Yeah. It's got a little, I'm wearing it right now. It's got a little logo on it. It looks like Harry Potter emblem, I'd say, probably. But it's long sleeve. And I'm like, what is this?
The old switcheroo.
I've never owned a long sleeve t-shirt in my life. And it's it's like a baseball thing, you know, where it kind of comes above I was going to say ankles, but wrists. Is that what they do? I don't know. It feels normal. I think
you could revisit the late 90s, buddy, and pop a t-shirt over that long sleeve t-shirt.
Don't tempt me.
It's how it was done. It was the done thing.
But then you won't see the nice Harry Potter style.
You'll have to cut a large disc in the front of the overshirt.
Yeah, okay.
Disc beard. Yeah.
Okay. I could do that.
Yeah.
Is that when you get
buddy.
patches on your shoulders for your jackets? But I'll have it on my
like the opposite.
I'll have some leather nipple patches or something.
Yeah.
Does that work? Is that how it goes? Fashion?
I like it. I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah, I hope so. Me too. Yeah, mate. T-shirts. Amazing.
The podcast's weird earlier in the day.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't drunk. I've only had a couple of sips so far. Normally, I'm a good pint or so in by now. This is confusing me. Finally, buddy, I'd like to thank Funk for the old heads up on the Discord link on the website. It was not working. I don't know why. Discord decided that link wouldn't work anymore, even though I set it to never end. So there is now a new never-ending link to our Discord chat.
And who knows how long that one will last?
Not me, mate, because I just set it to never, whatever it is, never stop.
I think that's we've got a lot of options.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah, fucking fantastic week for me. How about you?
Just the weekend for me, obviously, because my life is empty and hollow during the weekdays. Apart from Wednesday nights, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And Friday nights. So yeah, Saturday was, excellent game night, by the way.
Saturday
buddy. Well done.
day.
Kudos. Saturday was booze day.
Booze day. Nice.
We went out for lunch with some friends, friend of the podcast, Paul, and new friend of the podcast, Tom. And we went to Cote, buddy. We had some lovely lunch.
Cote.
And I knew it was going to go south when Paul said, "Shall we share a bottle of wine, buddy?" And I said, "Of course we shall." And that was the rest of the day, buddy.
Well played.
Pub to pub.
Yeah.
Went to Wagamama for dinner, so we had 2 dinners out, buddy. Lunch and dinner out.
You guys without any kids. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Drink it in,
let alone going out
motherfucker.
for 1 meal, but 2.
Oh yeah, we went out for 2 on the Sunday.
day.
We got takeaway for lunch, and then on Sunday evening we went out for some more food, buddy. I had 4 paid for meals, 3 out, 1 takeaway across the span of the weekend, and that is a good
atrocious.
weekend. It's alarming is what it is. But yeah, so Saturday booze day, we didn't achieve anything, so there's certainly nothing to talk about.
Obviously.
But it was good fun.
Nice.
And then on Sunday watched the old Grand Prix, which was incredibly dull, and it reminded me that Formula 1 is incredibly dull, but I'll still watch it every single race.
Formula 1 on game night as well.
We did. Yeah, that was mediocre.
It was average at best.
Yeah. Especially when we fired up Project Cars 2 afterwards, and we were like, "Oh yeah,
this is a racing game."
That's why we don't play F1.
Yeah.
So,
it's worth it. It's always good to experiment with these things and learn from your mistakes.
Indeed, buddy. As for the actual race, the highlight, of course, was greatest man in the world, Fernando Alonso. Came 5th in the race, which is more than he was able to achieve last year in his shit Honda. So that's good. And then the only other thing really I've done is on Sunday night I went to the Royal Tunbridge Wells Film Club, buddy.
Oh.
With new Royal Tunbridge Wells resident friend of the podcast, Paul.
How is that?
And we went up to see Murder on the Orient Express, buddy, at the film club.
Had you
with
seen
a
it before?
selection of upper middle class people. I hadn't seen it before, nor had I read the
Poirot.
book or seen the 70s version, so I didn't actually know.
It was
I
a
didn't know
bit
the
fucking
story.
obvious, mate. I called
Well,
it
to a
straight
degree.
away. I was like,
Yeah, it was-
fucking that guy.
I thought it was a good film, though. I'd heard that
Oh,
it was
definitely.
shit, and
I thought it was a
wasn't
good
shit
film.
at all.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
It was very good.
I quite like Kenneth Branagh. He does tend to kind of focus in on himself a little too much sometimes. Like, just kind of, yeah. He gets, let's just say, he gets a lot of screen time in his movies. And I know that that's obviously, you know, he's the director, so if he wants to be in the like every shot, then fine. But in the past, I'm thinking of you, Frankenstein. He's been in those fucking movies a little bit too much, buddy. But no, this was really good. I thought he was a great Poirot, and yeah, it was fucking cool. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was cool. So that was my weekend.
Sounds awesome.
It was boozy, and I've been suffering for it ever since.
happens.
So yeah, that's basically it, buddy. I'm looking forward to the 4-day Easter break. I think we've both got bits and pieces we're doing. I'm off for basically the whole 4 days with assorted family members
Yeah.
from my side and the missus's.
I'm leaving work
Misses's.
half day early tomorrow to get on the
Yeah.
drive down south. Good
Gonna-
times.
Yeah, gonna get our Easter on, and it's worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, that because of the fact that Ash has got basically like an hour to try and put the whole show together this week, we're going to be cutting this fairly short. You know, probably cutting sort of half hour, 40 minutes off the normal size of the show. Just so
thanks,
you've
guys,
got
for
like
joining
a
us
fighting
this
chance.
week, and
Yeah.
I hope you have a good one. We'll catch you next week.
So we'll be cutting out, if you've got in touch, and some of you have got in touch for Street Beat, then expect a bumper Street Beat next week. Also, Funk will be back next week, but we're going to be leaving him out this time round. Out this week, we've merged into the news so that we can just sort of cane through nice and quickly. So the show's going to be about an hour this evening, and hopefully that'll be fun. Probably better, less of us. You know, people will love that shit. So, two things, buddy. Firstly, the topic of the podcast this week is video games, despite that preamble.
That's true.
Secondly, what are you drinking this evening?
I managed to purchase a lot of Hop House 13 this week.
I saw a certain photo of a trolley full of Hop
Yeah,
House 13.
I picked up one crate. I was like, I should get two. And then I was like, you know what? While I'm here, I might as well get three. And I was like, three's an odd number. Like, that's not how it's done. So I got four of them. I just thought it was a
Fucking why
good
not?
idea. Well, they were reduced to clear. So it was like £7 or something for a crate. When normally it's like, what, 12, 13 quid for one of these things? So I was like,
Yeah.
when in Rome.
Easily. Go on. Yeah, indeed, buddy. It's a nice beer as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you've got a bargain for bargain's sake there. Like that's the sort of beer that you'd want to pick up anyway. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. Love me crafts. Lovely times. What are
Beautiful.
you on, mate? You on the pints of Stella again?
I'm not on the pints of Stella, buddy. I'm currently drinking a lovely Pinot.
Oh,
So
penis.
yeah, kind of enjoying a bit of wine this evening. I don't know why, but that's what's happened.
Was
Here
it
we
the
are.
only thing that was in the fridge, buddy? Was that why?
No.
okay.
It was. That'd be a good reason, though.
Yeah, obviously. I've been there.
I'm on the Pinot, although I've kind of fucked it because got about a third of a glass here, and the bottle's in the fridge. So at some point, I'm just gonna fucking get up and go and get the bottle while we're recording.
That's fine. I mean, you could do that at any time because we're always flawless,
It's true.
no matter what
It's
happens.
true. Indeed.
There's one little topic though that we need to talk about this week.
Go on, buddy.
We've won the game of buying games. I think we've. Did we buy? Oh, pardon me. Wow, gas just came out of nowhere there.
Good Lord, yeah.
Fucking hell. Wow. Did you buy some VR games as well this week, or was that last week? You know,
This week I bought Static and Eve Valkyrie.
that was
and,
it. Yeah. So we
and
totally.
A Way Out.
I bought A Way Out, and also we fucking nailed the game of buying games, and also we have bought Evolve.
We have bought Evolve. It was £3.99. We've been regularly stuck on a game night when there's been 5 of us, which is not the ideal number, really, especially for any sort of online deathmatch game.
No.
But there's a certain mode in Evolve, buddy, i.e. the fucking game itself,
yeah.
where I think you play as a squad of 5.
Hey, there's a 4 and a monster in it, so that's 5, mate.
Exactly. So, £4. And we haven't played that yet, but it'll probably get a run out on Friday.
I can't fucking wait for this game. I've been waiting since it launched to play this game. I'm so excited.
I don't give a fuck about it, but we'll see how we go.
It'll be fun.
We'll see how we go. Yeah,
I hope it works.
I hope it works. I hope they leave the lights on for us, buddy, because I'd imagine it's a little bit desolate, that community at this point. But
possibly.
We just need servers, or if it's P2P, then
we're gravy,
even
mate.
better.
Yeah,
Gibbons.
just share play it.
Blown. Oh yeah,
that's a thing.
Beautiful. Well, I suppose we should probably go and talk about what we've been playing.
Sure.
Do you want to kick things off, buddy? What you been up to?
I feel terrible about this, but I have to mention it. I feel like last week I said I'd never talk about this game again, but I'm going to have to talk about Fortnite again, buddy, unfortunately.
Oh, shit.
So
broken
sorry.
promises.
I know. Well, last Sunday, we had a lovely time playing Ghost Wars, which I reported on last week. I was extremely drunk, and I had a whale of a time as the assassin, just going gun-ho. So obviously, things repeated this Sunday. I went to the pub, I got smashed, and I carried on drinking through the night whilst playing games, waiting for people to pop online so we can be like, yeah, let's team up and do something. No one turned up, mate. So I was just there, I was playing Fortnite on my own, and I was like, I wonder what this squad mode's like. Jumped into it, I was like, okay. This is a bit shit on your own because you can't really talk to anyone. So I was playing with a team and I just sent them a message, team up, ? Fucking got a friend request straight away. I was like, okay, he's king.
Holy shit.
Let's see where this goes. Accepted the friend request. Then there was
This is scary. Sorry, I'm right on the edge of my seat. We don't tend to play with the yokels, buddy,
Mate,
so I'm gripped here.
Like I said, really pissed. Didn't really know what I was doing at the time. You know, we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I find myself in this party with 3 other guys, I'd say age around 18, and they are ultimate G-monies. You get me, fam. And there's me, this 32-year-old
London
dad.
runts.
Oh, yeah. 32-year-old dad just going like, yes, mate. Trying to put on my, like, biggest twatish accent I could ever think of to try and fit in. But you know what? I had fucking so much fun. It was ridiculous. And, like, credit to the guys. Like, a couple of them were massive retards, but, like, obviously there was, like, the main dude there. And he was like, look, guys, you need to fucking calm down. We've got a guest here. He's like, he doesn't know us. He doesn't know what we're about. Let's just like show him a good time kind of thing. I'm like, fucking sweet. This is well good.
Nice.
And yeah, man, I ended up playing Fortnite with those guys until like 1:45 in the morning. I was just like,
fucking hell.
Yeah. Really weird. Randoms, mate.
Unprecedented
playing
behavior,
with the randos.
buddy. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll do it again, but hey, you know, you got to try this thing sometime, I guess. But yeah,
you've dipped a toe in, and maybe it'll become quite addictive to start speaking to strangers, buddy.
I don't feel like that way unless I've had at least 6 beers, I think. And there's literally no one online that I can, you know, talk to. It was, it was a dark place. But no, like seriously, I had loads of fun. I learned loads of stuff about Fortnite with them as well, like all the base building and things. Really cool. I'd love to have a go at like the duos with you. I know you said, "Oh no, I'm not playing that game," because obviously the mouse and keyboard situation. But I kind of want to push for this a little bit now.
Were you playing with mouse and keyboard? No, when you playing with them?
Nah, fuck mouse and keyboard. It's boring. Like, or just turn your sensitivity up to like about 8 out of 10, and it's all good. And like the aim assist on that game's like so good on the controller compared to keyboard or mouse. Like it's ridiculous. I tried a few games like the other day with the keyboard and mouse, and I was like, fucking this thing will just not lock on to anyone right now. And I don't know, maybe it's because I was using the scope weapon actually, and that's why it wasn't locking on. But anyway, with a controller, I was having loads more luck. I was getting like 5-6 kills most games. I was like, sweet, this is ace. It's really cool.
Fucking sweet, man. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm confused that you did and baffled, I'm like, there you go. It just goes to show sometimes
it felt really good calling out all like the directions, and like, you know, you got your compass at the top like in PUBG, and I'm like, yeah, enemies like 140, and then everyone would be like, turn around, oh yeah, I see him. Yeah, fam, that's sick. I was like, yeah.
Yes, blood.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, cool. Me too.
Nice. Cool.
Oh dear. So yeah, Fortnite. Weird game. Still playing it vaguely, I'd say. Yeah.
Man.
There you go. So yeah, apart from that, obviously we played some other games, but they're together. So what you been playing on your own, buddy?
Allow me to take you to a little run down the old road to VR town, buddy.
I love it.
While I'm doing
it's my favourite place. I can't wait to visit.
Gibbons, it's a beautiful thing. This week I bought Static, and I bought Eve Valkyrie Warzone, and also you picked up on PS Plus ages ago Riggs, which I didn't add that to my library, and I didn't realise that you had it. So yeah, I've been playing that as well, buddy. So first to Static. This is really cool, this game. So it's a controller-based one, like DualShock 4 rather than wands, and it's kind of got a bit of a Portal feel about it, but that's a lot to do with the fact that the script's quite funny. You've got this scientist guy like sitting with you all the time, but his face is kind of like scrambled so you can't see it properly. It's kind of weird. But basically the game is, there's a series of puzzle boxes, and with you holding the controller the way that you are, in the game, your hands are inside a box, like side by side inside this box. And it's just a puzzle box. Like every corner, every side of it has little puzzles you have to work out. Maybe it's turn locks round to put something in a certain order, or maybe it'll be like a little map of tubes that you have to kind of connect up or something like that.
You have to rub something really hard to make it stiff.
You can certainly have a go, buddy. I'm not sure I've got to that specific box yet, the old dick box, but I mean, it could happen. It could happen by the end of the game. It kind of branches out. So you've got, you'll get ones where there's like objects in the room that are different colours, and then you'll have certain kind of objects that are kind of in the category of those things, and you have to like input the different colors and stuff. There's like auditory ones and visual ones, like loads of different puzzles, and it works so very well because obviously it's tracking the DualShock's light on the front, so you can kind of turn the box around, look at the sides of it, look at the back of it. There's some really interesting stuff going on here, and yeah, it's just mapped so that every button on the DualShock does something else. There's a good like 15 different boxes to try out, and side stuff as well, and it's presented beautifully. Like it looks really nice, but the script is genuinely funny, which is kind of pretty rare these days to have a good script in a video game, buddy. I think you know where I'm going with that.
Oh, scripting.
Yeah, script's kind of important in a video game. The dialogue and everything.
Dialogue, yeah, I've heard about these things.
Pretty important.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really cool game. Just a little puzzle game, but it captures a really nice mood.
Mate, I love puzzles. Quickly,
I think you'd properly like really enjoy this.
I feel like I would. I love a good puzzle. Just quickly, I forgot to mention that I got Monument Valley 2. This week, completed it.
Nice!
Completed it very quickly, and also installed it on my son's tablet, and he completed it before me, which I was very upset about. Fuck bag. I think it took him like an hour and a half, and he just smashed it. I was like, fuck.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's just because it's easier than the first one, or just because I understand how those puzzles work now.
Yeah,
So-
the familiarity must really be a thing there. So.
I remember playing like the original Monument Valley and just being like, this is just awesome. This is a great little puzzler, like proper like brain buster kind of thing. But yeah, the second one kind of just breezed through it, like no bother. Obviously, it's a very, very cool game. I think it's I got it because it's on sale on Google Play. Like it's like half price, like £2.50 or something at the moment.
Nice, man.
But yeah, cool game. Sorry to butt
Very
in there.
cool.
I just like you
No,
talking
it's
about
fine.
puzzle
Like you're
games.
thinking of
I was like,
puzzlers,
yeah.
it makes sense, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. But yeah, no, I'd love to have a go on a fucking VR puzzle game. It would be like having an actual puzzle in front of me.
It's one of these things where you just
Do
can't
you
imagine.
reckon they're going to make an actual puzzle game in VR where you put puzzle pieces down? If not, pattern that shit right now.
Yeah, they could
Old
blatantly do that.
people and other people would love that.
Yeah, I would do that.
You know, it's a puzzle and it doesn't take up any fucking space in your house. Or you could do like an augmented reality puzzle. Like it's on your wall.
How many DualShocks do you think you can connect to? Because I suppose you could kind of have multiple people playing something like that with like one DualShock each.
A
Because you'd only
puzzle-off,
need
you mean?
one hand, wouldn't you? Yeah, some sort of puzzle death match.
Battle Puzzle Royale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100
100
puzzlers go in,
puzzlers.
buddy.
Go at it on an island to make the puzzle the quickest.
Yep.
Got a better one. 101 puzzlers go at it on an island.
Oh,
There you go.
that's
Topped
where
it.
it's at, buddy. That extra player.
Exactly. Anyway,
So yeah, puzzle game. There we are. Moving on. Rigs. Let's talk about rigs very briefly, not for too long. You know what that means. This game is a little confusing. I haven't necessarily given it enough of a chance. I played it for about an hour. The first half hour of that, maybe longer, was tutorial missions that were just incredibly dull and annoying. This thing's got all manner of VR comfort settings. That's kind of what they call the various settings that you can put on or turn off to change how vomit-inducing it is. Obviously, being a seasoned veteran at this point of VR, buddy, I turned all of that shit off. And, oh my god, Chundertown.
Chundertown achieved.
Good lord.
Nice.
Seriously, this thing fucks you up. It just feels really weird and not pleasant. But aside from that, I found the whole experience quite boring. And then on top of all of that, it takes you all through all of this kind of training and everything, and you get your mech and all of that stuff. Or your rig, rather. I suppose it'd be a rig. It's rigs.
Rig. Yeah, I get that.
And so it chucked me into the first game, and it was like, yeah, go for it, whatever. And then we proceeded to get absolutely fucking annihilated in the like opening match. Like genuinely ridiculous. Like we lost like 42 kills to 6, something like that. Like, as a
fair.
3-on-3 match, and I got like 4 of the 6 kills. So my AI teammates only got 1 kill each, which gives you some sort of idea of the fact that I might have been shit at it, but that's not the reason that we lost necessarily, or not the whole reason. Like my VR counterparts got 1 kill each. Meanwhile, one of the mechs on the AI's team got like 32 kills. And I'm just like, I was already like not sold on this whatsoever, and then it chucks me into 40 minutes of tutorials and then completely bones me in like the first match. I was just like, I don't really know if I ever want to play this again. So yeah, really weird design choices to put you in a position where just to make you fucking hate the experience so much. But I mean, on paper it's quite interesting, but the movement isn't really there. It kind of feels a little bit clunky, and there's no excuse for that. I'm using a DualShock 4. Like I should have perfect range of movement like I would in any fucking deathmatch game. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that at all. I may go back to that, but I probably won't, buddy.
I doubt it very much.
That was quite scathing. I think it was fair. Finally from me, buddy, continuing in VR Town, hugely exciting, just came out today.
No, I was going to message you earlier. I was like, buddy, you need to get on this quick.
seriously, I closed my fucking laptop dead on 5 when I finished work. I walked straight in here, turned on the VR and fired up Wipeout VR.
Nice.
The patch has dropped. That game is now fully VR compatible. Also worth noting that, and this isn't the only game that's the case, and we'll talk about the other one later on, this does appear to be cross-play with VR and outside VR.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, in theory, like if everyone got this game, then I could play in VR while everyone else wasn't. Again, like not really that important, but I suppose for a game like Wipeout, you've got like a population there to play with.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was about to say. Like it's because obviously, if you have like a VR only mode, you're not going to find many games, obviously. You know?
Exactly. This is absolutely brilliant. This might be the best VR game I've ever played.
Oh my God, really?
It is absolutely exceptionally good. The VR perfectly suits this video game.
It must be terrifying.
It's really good. It's the way that they've kind of mastered it and everything, like, it's pretty smooth. So I haven't found your stomach certainly goes like all the time, but it's not being sort of to the sort of degree of stuff like Starblood Arena and Riggs, for example.
Yeah.
There's also excellent comfort settings here. You can change the amount of like you've got an FOV, you've got headset mode in terms of like. Where the sort of blinkers kick in, or you can turn the blinkers off completely, because it seems to be that whole like range of view is the thing that fucks you a lot in these games. So a lot of games will have these settings where you can just put like blinkers on either side to kind of make it a squarer image, and then you don't see so far out wide, and that seems to make you feel a little bit less ill when you've got nothing to worry about in your peripherals. Mm-hmm. So, but you can turn all that off, and I turned off all comfort settings and didn't have a problem. It was fine. It didn't feel dodgy at all for me. It's just the case that all of these games, it's just completely down to the individual. Like, you never really know what's going to do you and what isn't. But yeah, it's got all manner of movements. You can lock the camera to the cockpit. I don't know why you would. I think it's that as default, which is really weird. Sure. Why would you want the camera locked? Like, then all you're doing is wearing a television on your face.
Yeah, you want to be able to look about, surely.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of VR, isn't it? You know, you're like,
yeah, exactly.
Over there.
But you have to commend them for those comfort settings. Anyway, the whole game's playable in VR. It saved all my progress. It's not like Drive Club VR, where it's like a completely separate game and you've got a completely separate campaign. This is the full game Wipeout, which is now VR compatible. It's just fantastic. Like, it's so much fun, really fast. Using the bumpers the way that we do to make those tight turns with the air brakes either side, you can look into them. So if you're going left, you can kind of start looking around that corner already, and then straighten up very quickly. It's fucking awesome. That's like, cool. Genuinely very, very cool. Expect to hear a lot about this, because the VR community has been waiting for a really long time for this update to drop as soon as it was mentioned that it might be coming, because it's just so conducive to VR gameplay. Like, Wipeout is, futuristic. You're in a cockpit and it's like flying around. It's fucking cool, man. But I have to say, some of those jumps and drops, you really, really feel it. Like, properly feel it. It's just great. I mean, even little things like the fact that you're in the cockpit and you've got such a close view to the front of the ship. When you fire weapons, they're huge as they like shoot out the front and disappear. Like, if you got like these like pulse grenades and the machine gun bullets and everything, like, they're just it just looks awesome, and you're like right in front of it. Your face is right there in your face, right in your face,
right in your face.
Right in your face.
Right in your face.
So yeah, there you go. Okay. So that's VR Town. I have played another VR game, but we've both played that game, buddy. So we should probably move on and talk about that, seeing as we're still kind of vaguely in VR Town.
Might as well keep it similar, That's
indeed.
That's Eve Valkyrie, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Eve Valkyrie Warzone which I did not realize, but is in fact cross-play between VR and non-VR.
Yep.
And so yeah, I've played quite a lot of this week. I've played the demo and I've spoken about it, so I won't go on about it. But safe to say, having played a couple of different space combat games and also those 2 space combat demos, the Star Wars one and the COD one,
Yeah.
I can comfortably say this is the fucking game you want if you're after a space combat game in VR.
Space Cowboy.
It's very cool, very very cool indeed. But we were also able to play it together, buddy, and that meant that you got the chance to try it outside of VR. So yeah, like, what did you think? It's probably been a while since you've played any sort of space combat game, hasn't it?
Let alone some sort of flying game, I would say as well.
Yeah.
So immediately the controls were baffling. I was like, inverted, not inverted. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. Like, the boost button was on the X button and brake was square. I was like, this doesn't feel right. I mean, the whole shooting was on the triggers, so that kind of made sense. But then I was like, wait, if I want to accelerate in like a racing game or something, I want to be using the triggers to do that, using my like fingers up there. And so obviously I just went to fucking town on the controls, like in Wipeout, like the whole thing on that was like, no, I want my go to be right trigger and my stop to be left trigger. So yeah,
and I've totally stuck with that, and I have to say, yes, that is how you should be playing Wipeout. Like, genuinely, the way that we've got the controls on that game, it shits all over the default controls.
Like,
it does.
It's not fucking rocket science, is it? And yeah, this game's the same. So I immediately changed those over to my accelerate and brake. So I ended up having shoot, and by secondary, like, you have 2 shootings, like primary and secondary. I had them on X and square, and then I was messing about with the flying, and I was like, I think roll was like L1 and R1, like, so to tilt left and right, because obviously you're in space, like, there's no, like, way is down. So obviously you're constantly rolling around. I was like, this doesn't feel right either. So I moved the roll over to the right analog stick, and I was like, okay, fly.
Which does nothing by default, by the way,
obviously.
the right analog stick.
So that kind of felt more natural. So like I could like spin myself around, moving left and right, and then I can like pull myself up and down. I think I ended up, after I did that, I went back to inverted as well on the left stick, which was strange, but it felt right because now that I've got like the spinning on that one. But that now meant that I couldn't take my thumb off the right analog stick to shoot. So I was like, okay, right, fine. So accelerate and brake are L2 and R2, and shooting and secondary shooting is L1 and R1. And there you go. I'm happy.
It's fixed the game.
I've made the game work.
Yeah.
You don't have to take your thumbs off anything. Like, it's all just there. Obviously, like, there are buttons, the X square or cross square, I should say, circle and triangle, which like do multiple things, like drop, like, was it like bomb, whatever they're called, the things that destroy the bombs behind you and things like that. They're just like other things, like I think on one of the ones it was like a super turbo boost or something, and then triangles like your super special gun charge up button, whatever, unleash your super kind of thing. So obviously, yeah, you do have to take your thumb off the right stick at some point. But yeah, that game feels much better to play. It took me about half an hour, 45 minutes to get to that stage. And then after that, I was having a lot of fun. So it was just pretty much dicking about in all the different ships trying to find one that worked for me. I still don't feel like I'm there yet. I feel like there's probably a ship out there that is perfect for me. But just the maneuverability now, being able to accelerate and brake and then accelerate out, like you can do some awesome maneuvers, especially like in between all these like space stations and stuff are about. Like, there's so many like little nooks and crannies you can fly through. It's a very, very cool game and looks pretty fucking good as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was trying to get across before, and I didn't think that you'd be able to like play this with me, so it's really awesome that you can. but the way that the ships feel in this, it's got a sort of 3D version of the kind of Moonlander type gameplay that, you know, where you can kind of feather your way up and down on like a moon environment. So the way that these ships turn around, you really kind of feel the momentum, so you can spin it round and you're still kind of going backwards, and then kind of apply some throttle to slow you down. The way that you use the air brake to I suppose it's not air brake, but brake, there's no air. The way that you can kind of stop and spin and turn, like, it's far more intricate, like the flying, than I'm used to, mainly because I haven't played any space combat games for such a long
seriously,
time.
I can't even remember the last time I played a space Battlefront, I guess.
Yeah, that doesn't, I don't know if that
doesn't
counts.
really count, does it?
No.
You know, the old
probably
space
genuinely probably like either Rogue Squadron or Conflict Free Space, and when we're talking probably 99, 2000 or something.
It's been a while. There must be something out there. But yeah, I mean, what was the game? Resogun. That doesn't really count though.
No. So yeah, this game's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a little short of content in the single player, and I think it's a little short of players in the multiplayer. But I'm kind of hoping that will change, because I just don't think the word's out that you can play this outside of VR, and it's a really good game outside of VR. I played it for an hour or so the other night without the headset, just to see how it felt, and it's pretty satisfying. The only thing that I would say is it seems incredibly difficult to get kills, and that may be because we're complete noobs.
Yeah, I reckon that's it, to be honest.
I think it's probably just practice makes perfect, but it certainly felt like hard work. Using like a machine gun style weapon to try and gun down a ship just seemed to take like 4 or 5 minutes of just flying around in circles trying to get a lock on them and shit. It's also worth noting that it seems like a couple of the ships have things that you can do if you've got the VR that you can't do outside of it. I've got if I hold left stick in one of those ships, then I can look to lock on and then shoot up to 5 rockets. And it seemed like when you were using that ship, you didn't have a secondary. So there's some gaps
weird
there.
Stuff going on, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I found the most joy I had with like some sort of sniper ship, which was just
like short. Yeah,
it was
exactly.
just like a
because
zoom kind of laser beam.
Because the pappity stuff just didn't really do the trick.
Yeah, I'd be sprawling all over the fucking place, like just fucking gunning everywhere. I'm like, this isn't really working for me. So I was like, let's try and be a bit more accurate with the one shot. And even that, like, it took, I think, about like 4 or 5 hits to kill someone. I was like, fucking hell, how much damage do these things fucking take, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it does make a massive difference what class they are. Like, we were fighting heavies in that particular round,
true,
and the following round I put it onto assault, and it was like 2-shotting, sort of, if you got direct hits.
But
and
see,
stuff,
they're a lot quicker. You have to get up and get
it is
in
hard.
there and shit.
And
it's tough.
How about the sort of all the customization and upgrade trees and everything in here?
Oh god, baffled me.
Pretty special.
Well confused.
Yeah,
it's going to take a bit of time to learn some of that stuff. But, you know, video games, that's what I do. Give me a menu system, I'll sit in there for hours.
Do you think this is something that you are going to want to play again?
I think it's something that we should pick up every now and again and just have a run at, just for fun, because it is fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll play it on my own, but yeah, I'm definitely up for playing more of it. It's cool.
Gibbons, buddy. And that's in the big old Easter sale at the moment as well, buddies. So if you're thinking about taking the plunge, then it's only a tenner in the UK at the moment, and similarly priced in Europe. I don't know about the States. Don't know what their sales doing it, but yeah, it's good. It's a good game,
guys.
So the other one, the final one to talk about this week, and probably, I suppose, the biggest one, really.
Big news.
Been waiting for this for some time. Let's talk about A Way Out, buddy, which we have actually completed
Is this the
in
first
2 sittings.
Proper game that we've bought this year? And it's
I think
the end of March.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking like alleged AAA published games, then...
Same.
But this is an indie title, I would say.
End of March, though. It's been a fucking while. Oh, I guess I bought Monster Hunter World, didn't I?
Oh yeah,
that was like beginning. That came out beginning of January, didn't it? Anyway, that's just me complaining about the lack of games again.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
I've been watching some Far Cry videos, buddy.
No, don't do it. It's shit.
I don't know.
It's going to be
shit.
balls. Saying that, I've had
co-op.
Playing this game co-op with you is like, it's brought it back, buddy. Loads of fun. Doing some co-op.
It has
and
been
shit.
fun.
It's been shits and giggles. It's been a while since we've just played a game together.
Yeah, and to finish it off in 2 sittings like we did, like a couple of sort of 3.5, 4 hour sessions.
Yeah, it was balls deep.
It was balls deep, and it's great that we had such a good time. This game has a lot going for it, does a lot of things right, does one thing so terribly that it ruins the whole experience, and that is so upsetting.
Yeah,
it's
really
so disappointing. And it's this is not just me, this one, is it? Like, I've like, listeners will know that I've like crucified.
He's a stickler.
I've crucified game scripts in the past and voice acting and dialogues and stuff, and yeah, like, I have got a bit of a fucking, like, it does kind of trigger me a little bit, that, but this is far beyond that, isn't it? I think it's fair to say, isn't it? Like
it is, like you kept, like you said it, like, well, to be honest, like, you'd played it a little bit before I had, and you were like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything, we'll just go into it, and then, like, after about like 20 minutes, I'm like, yeah, so that's not right here. They keep just saying something. They're just adding a sentence at the end for no reason, and just like explaining what they're doing and where they are all the fucking time. Like, why?
There is a vent on the wall. I will try and get up into the vent. You should try and get up into the vent. I will try now. I will try and get up into the vent.
I'm entering the vent. Why don't you get into that vent? I'm trying. I've made it in. I can see you've made it into the vent. It's like, no. Just don't. Just stop.
Such a shame. The story, there'll be no spoilers from us whatsoever. This is a brand new game.
Die.
Obviously, a lot of people are going to want to play it. Everyone dies.
They fall in love and marry each other.
The story's pretty standard, but also, I think, quite a good story. And if I gave the slightest fucking iota of a shit about any of the characters, then it would have been quite an affecting story.
The ending would be so much more powerful if I gave a shit. What was the game? One of the Call of Duties where the fucking he stabs him in the chest or something down by the river. I can't remember, but like that game, like I felt like true emotion because, you know, for some reason I cared about these guys at that time.
Fucking confirmed. Call of Duty single player campaign evokes more emotion in Ash than A Way Out does, and I agree with him. I totally agree with you.
But like, that ending there with the fucking knife struggle, I was just like, that's a fucking powerful moment. Like, you can't believe it, kind of thing, or something like that. Anyway, what happened?
Exactly.
And at the end of this, I was just like, oh, for fuck, just no. Sure.
So let's break down a few bits. Like, obviously, there's things that it does really well.
This game does a lot very well.
The graphics and the texturing and everything aren't the greatest thing in the world, but the art style's lovely. Yes. The lighting engine's amazing.
Is fantastic, yeah, definitely.
And it creates an incredible mood until they open their mouths. It really does.
Which is a shame. Yeah.
The co-op stuff, there's a lot of kind of QTE-esque stuff.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
I genuinely don't mind QTEs when they serve like a general, like, choreographed co-op purpose, and they kind of make sense in this game. There's some stuff like QTE stuff we've never really seen before. Like,
yeah, they've pushed the QTE to the next level, buddy, in this game.
Yeah, but they've made it quite almost fun. Like, it's not just like press X now, press square now. Like,
you know, you have to synchronize your presses, and you know, other games have done that before, but this does it in a new fancy way, and you're like, actually, yeah, that's really kind of cool.
Yeah, it's got like sort of almost like the active reload of Gears kind of stuff in it with like bars and pendulum swinging on the stick and that sort of thing. It's still got the bollock stuff with like, hey, help me open this door.
Yeah.
And then there's got lots of mashing of square and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, that stuff's cool, and you will have a good time playing through this game. It's pretty well made. There weren't like loads of bugs or glitches. A couple of times when it seemed to lose connection and spawned one of us like miles away from the other.
That time when I couldn't walk properly, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there was a moment where you looked like you shit yourself and you were just kind of ambling around, like, yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant. Loved it. Yeah, like, I think the story as a whole is fantastic. I think from start to finish, I was engrossed in it. I was like, okay, yeah, where are we going next? Obviously, you know, we've already said that certain things kind of pulled us away from it, and yeah, if that dialogue was that little bit better, you know, this would be an outstanding game for me, because the co-op in it is very, very well done, you know, and the fact that you've got both screens there on your one screen, even when playing online, it makes it that much cooler, because you know, you're waiting for your buddy to call out whatever, but you know, you can see what's on his screen, so you can kind of preempt it in a way, which is cool. But then half the time, like, I'd forget that his screen was there because I'd be so focused on what I was doing, and then suddenly, like, because it's so like, what's it like a movie? There's probably a cinematic. That's the word. You know, like, one of the screens would start to get larger than the other, so you knew that it was time to focus on what that character was doing and stuff like that. It's very, very well put together in that shape and form, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you're. To be honest, I really liked everything about it except the script and dialogue, and obviously the story had problems. There were problems.
The
there
shooting
as well.
wasn't great as well. I'll just add that.
The shooting, I think it
was
would be
okay.
That's what I would say. Like, it's reasonable to call the shooting mediocre, and that's kind of all you really needed it to be.
I kept comparing it to like Uncharted in a way, because you know, you had opportunities of stealth and opportunities of just going gun ho, a la Uncharted,
and climbing stuff and quick time events like Uncharted as well. True.
I just feel like, obviously, because Uncharted is made by a massive team, you know, it's a bit slicker and smoother than this game. So
it's a lot slicker.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. If I'm going to compare it to, you know, Uncharted, am I allowed to do that because of the whatever? I mean, yeah, I can, because they're both video games, but I'm giving this slack because it's not made by a massive team that have produced, you know, multiple versions of this game in the previous and learned from their mistake. This is like the first one of these games to come out, and it's kind of blown me away in the fact that it's a fantastic co-op game that, you know, kept me hooked.
I totally agree, and I had a great time start to finish. I started playing it locally with the missus. We're going to finish it off, so I'll have played through it twice at that point. But I have to say, the reason that the script is bad, I would imagine, is because the director creator Joseph Fares, who made Brothers and who was the head of this game as well, he as well as directing and art design and all sorts of other things, he's the lead writer on the script. He's not a native English speaker, and that's what it sounds like. It sounds like someone's written a script in English, and then they've chucked it through like an Italian translator or something, and then back again, and it ruins the game.
Yeah, the localization hasn't been.
Yeah, it ruins
best.
it. It ruins it. If you live streamed a playthrough of this game and had two professional actors like dub it, it would be incredible, like absolutely amazing. And it's so disappointing to me because it does create a tone and a mood, and I love the way it builds slowly at the start. There's so much to love here, but I can't get past it. Like, genuinely, it goes from being Last of Us style, tense and interesting and somber and exciting, to a fucking joke that we're taking the piss out for 7 hours. Like, it's cut and dry, and it's a real shame. And I just think like it's a perfect example. You don't have to be fucking good at everything. Just delegate your script writing if you're not a script writer.
Yep.
Like there's loads of people who would have done that. You were published by EA. You could have had anyone on the fucking planet, and this game would have been a 10 out of 10 classic.
Yeah.
And you fucked it by writing your own script. It's very. Oh man, it makes me really angry. It really does, because I really enjoyed the game. I had such a lovely time on it, but it just wrecks it. I challenge anyone to disagree. It's quite fucking obvious.
I
what's wrong with
disagree.
this game.
Greatest script ever.
Reginald. Yeah. It's a shame, but we've had a fantastic time on it. Like, what it means is it's like a sort of 7-8 out of 10 game rather than a 10 out of 10 game.
Yeah, totally.
And it's been fucking sweet playing it through with you, and also serves to highlight there should be more fucking co-op games, buddy, like this.
Like Far Cry 5.
Like Far Cry 5. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Bumper edition of the games, mate.
Yeah, exactly. It's been cool. We've been playing lots of stuff. Hopefully get the chance to play some bits and bobs over the weekend as well. We shall see. But
I'll have a Switch with me, so it'll be Mario.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
That's it. So.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's move on. And now it's time for the news and out this week.
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 Fucking news and out this week.
Number one.
Number Wang.
Number Wang. We're just going to blitz through this. I've picked kind of the headlines rather than a full sort of news section, as time gets away from us, buddies. The news and out this week. Let's start with the Games for Gold and PS Plus. We just came through those very quickly because it's pretty good, I would say, on both systems. Firstly, Xbox Games for Gold. We have got The Witness, buddy.
Nice, great game. Get them puzzles in you.
Fucking sweet. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I'd play that.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good, man, for Xbox One.
Yeah,
that's The Witness and Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And then the 360 games with backwards compatibility are Dead Space 2, which is a really good game as well.
Good game.
And Cars 2, which isn't, but, you know.
Not a good game. I played the original Cars. That was not a good game as well.
Was that one of your, like...
achievement hunting ones,
style?
probably. Yeah. Go for it. I love Cars. Great film.
So yeah, that's solid, isn't it? That's pretty solid, man.
Yeah, man. I'll be happy with them.
Very, very cool. Moving on to PS Plus. Similar sort of story, really. Good stuff. We've got on PS4 Mad Max and Trackmania Turbo. So
decent.
I will play Mad Max. I'm looking forward to trying that out.
I like the thought of playing Mad Max.
I'm definitely going to have a go at that. I think that might be one that me and the missus can get stuck into.
Yeah.
She platinumed Infamous Second Son today, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Can't say fairer than that.
There you go.
Beautiful stuff. And Trackmania Turbo, of course, is awesome. Very, very cool game.
Very, very good game.
Kind of weird in VR, not that great in VR, which is a bit odd, but
it's a shame.
Yeah, that's a great game. You got like hours of fun there, and all of the custom made, like fan made stuff as well was just very, very cool. We've also got In Space We Brawl and Toy Home on the PS3. Fucking right off PS3.
Brilliant.
And 99 Vidas on the PS Vita, and then you got Cuba rebooted on the PS3, PS4, PS Vita. So I would say Xbox has kind of snuck that one, but Mad Max and Trackmania, that's pretty good, man,
yeah, man.
For PS Plus.
Are we finally starting to get some decent games on this PS Plus now for the PS4, which is good?
They do seem to have upped it, don't they? They seem to be trying a little harder than before. And I expect that to continue into when the PS3 drops, then maybe they'll be giving us 3 or 4 PS4 games, I don't know. But
we can only dream, buddy.
We've always said we'd be more than happy with like 1 or 2 good former AAA games rather than like a sort of like slapdash approach like they had before.
I know.
So yeah, there you go. That's your sort of number one. Number two, buddy, PSVR is having a huge price drop as of next week. The RRP will be down in the UK from £350 to £260.
That's a big drop.
It's a massive drop. Similar story in Europe. You're talking about maybe €100 off of the price for that starter pack, which basically means at this point that in the UK at least, if you want to get that pack with the camera and the wands and VR worlds, it's about £310, and that is exactly to the penny what I paid for mine.
That'll do.
about 2 months ago.
Nicely done.
So yeah, there you go. It's coming down in price. That should mean that picking up the headset on its own will get even cheaper as well. So it's just a case of keeping out for those bargains, really, because you can get the wands and the camera secondhand at not a great deal of cost. So you can kind of drop under £200 for everything if you can pick up that headset cheap, especially now the new one's kind of taking precedent. The old ones are kind of going a little bit cheaper. So yeah, there you go. Next, PUBG is considering region locking servers. They've had all manner of cheaters and problems and lag, and there's just been so much like trouble, because inevitably there will be when you've got the most popular game on earth. Although I suppose it feels like Fortnite's now the most popular game on earth. I feel
like it is, which is worrying.
How have they done that? Like, people were taking the piss out of Fortnite at the start for being this like shitty clone.
Yes, I don't know.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Man, anyway, yeah, they're considering region locking servers. I think that would be a good thing for most people, because most people don't necessarily play regularly with people on different continents, and it'd certainly up the sort of performance of networks in each region. So there we go. Next, City Skylines is now a part of the Xbox Game Pass, making that service just incredible, like even better once again.
Seriously, very impressive.
So good.
They're doing wonders there. I think, it's making me consider, next generation or whatever you want to call it, whenever it is. It could be quite the selling point, or it is already quite the selling point, to be honest.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Do you think that PlayStation needs to respond here, because no one gives a fuck about PS Now?
I think they need to do something or get something.
They need a rival. Do they not?
I feel like this E3, they're going to come out, announce obviously the PS5, and be like, "Yeah, it's out next year," and then they're going to be like, coincided with that, we've got this little thing where you get free games, or you get games for a price a month.
What do you think? Maybe like PS Plus Premium or PS Plus
some
Pro?
Bollocks like, PS Plus Pro for the pro gamers. Yes,
the pro gamers who want that back catalogue. You pay an extra, like, I don't know, £7 a month or whatever, and you get access to that PS Now catalogue.
I'd do that.
I would as well. They've absolutely fucked it with PS Now for many years by just making that thing a flat rate, fucking £13 a month. No one's going to pay that for your shitty old PS3 games. It's a knack. Yeah, it's a little bit strange. But obviously Game Pass going from strength to strength, and you'd be mad if you're an Xbox Live Gold member who hasn't got that Game Pass. There's so much fucking content to enjoy there. It's crazy. So good. So there's that. What else we got? We've got one last thing, buddy, from me, and that is CD Projekt Red did a live stream where they answered some questions this week. Adam Kaczynski cleared some stuff up about Cyberpunk 2077 because, I think they wanted to address the fact that since the CEO had kind of mentioned possible multiplayer, there was a lot of talk about, oh, here we go, they're going to fucking go down the AAA route, they're going to chuck in the loot crates, and they're going to all this shit. Kaczynski said that the game basically said the game probably won't have multiplayer, or if it does, it won't divert any attention from the story.
Yeah.
So he did say they're kind of considering everything, but this is a direct quote from that live stream the other night. He said, "The first thing we're going to discuss is the immense story-driven role-play for a single player without any micropayments whatsoever, without any hidden things whatsoever, just as was the case for The Witcher 3. Even though it's going to be a very different game than The Witcher 3 with no predefined character, a futuristic world, the product character, it's going to be just the same as The Witcher 3, namely a single-player game purchased for a one-off fee."
Nice.
Oosh. I would be completely happy if that game had no multiplayer whatsoever, because The Witcher 3 doesn't have any multiplayer, and that was one of the best games I've ever played in my life. So if they just want to put all their eggs in one basket there, buddy, and do what they do best, i.e. create one of the greatest open worlds I've ever seen, that'd be fucking fine.
I'm very excited.
Do you kind of feel the same? Or would you quite like to see some... I mean, because stuff like The Last of Us is an amazing story-driven game with a really cool and interesting multiplayer. They kind of showed that it can be done within the tone of the whole thing. Would you like to have some sort of multiplayer or something on there?
I'd like a little touch of multiplayer, why not? You know, that'd be pretty fucking sweet. I literally finished watching the No-Clip Witcher series today.
Oh, it's good, man, wasn't it?
It's fucking amazing, and it makes me want to go and play that game.
He's done, sorry, just very briefly to interrupt because you mentioned No-Clip. He's just done a 2-parter on Warframe, which is well worth a watch.
Very
really
good.
enjoyed that.
Really good.
Very cool. Sorry, carry on, buddy.
But yeah, no, there was a few things that I picked out of this press conference earlier as well this week. The fact that there's going to be character classes, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Very cool.
You know, obviously you're not just kind of tied down to one man, even though he was fucking awesome. And the fact that his beard grew as the game went on made it even fucking cooler.
Yes.
I mean, that's just a fucking good game. You know, it's a good game.
That's so cool.
When you grow a beard. Oh, mate, yeah. I'm getting too excited about this game, which is weird because, you know, like I tried The Witcher 3 times and got to the same point every time and put it down. But, yeah, I want to play that game so bad because I know it's so good. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this could be more of me, though. I don't know why. Spacey, futuristic, whatever you want to call it, cyberpunk, innit? Well, that's the name.
Yeah, well, I
cyberpunk,
think
innit?
it's
dumb.
It's got a great deal more opportunity to go down that loot road a little bit as well because of the futurism of it.
Yeah,
so,
true.
And that's something that you've kind of really got into since Destiny 2 came out. So if it had a little bit more of that, because The Witcher kind of doesn't really like have a loot aspect per se. Like, there's not a great deal of that going on. It's more kind of you get gold and then you go to merchants and stuff. But everything kind of looks the same. There's not like a great deal of difference there in terms of like weaponry and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
and then,
I mean, they've been working on this for 6 years already.
I know, right? But they mentioned that they're going to be taking advantage of future, more powerful hardware as well. And I'm saying like, hey, PS5 next year, Cyberpunk 2077, fucking release title. Yeah.
Like a launch title.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be something.
That would be killer. That would be insane. That'd be absolutely ridiculous if that happened.
Oh, I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah, man. Me too. Like, it's not going to come out for another year. Like, I know I can keep banging on the bush like, yeah, no, E3, they're going to be saying it's under your chairs and all that bugs, but you know it's not coming out till next year. What if though?
I wouldn't be that surprised if it wasn't coming out until like March 2020. Like genuinely, I wouldn't be that surprised.
No, stop pushing it back. I've already given you another year on my original saying it's out this year.
Next Christmas, maybe.
Definitely. Hands down, bet at least 50p on it right now.
50 pence.
50 pence.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Whatever happens, pretty exciting.
Yes, mate.
And of course, we will keep you abreast of that particular situation, buddies.
Indeed.
Enjoy that. So yeah, there you go, buddy. Are you doing your thing here, or you not?
I mean, the majority of it has just been taken up in Cyberpunk 2077 talk just then. But I've got one bit of news.
Okay, well, in that case, buddy, I think it's
go.
probably time for me to hand over to you for my favourite section, and I'm sure the listeners as well, and that, of course, would be Ash's News Favourite Things of the Week.
If you like news but hate information, you have found the right place. Ash's News Favorite Thing of the Week.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, like I said, just the one thing this week. Good news story of the week. They're coming out every week now. This is lovely. I'm finding something that makes me feel good about being a gamer and spending way too much time playing games. And this is about a player who's completed all of World of Warcraft's 3,314 achievements, and it only took him 6 years, buddy.
There you go.
I mean, life ambitions. That's one of them.
That's how you spend it.
He's done it.
When you're lying on your deathbed, you're going to be like, that was time well spent.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of the simple tasks was to kill 250,000 players.
There you go.
He's done it.
He's done it.
Yeah. It was a nice little read about how, it started off. He wasn't really doing it. And then suddenly he was doing it every day for like 9 hours every day. And,
right.
it was like his full-time job. I was like, oh, yeah. One day, maybe. That could be me.
How's he doing financially at this point?
I'm sure he's fine living with his parents.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just a nice thing. I was like, yeah, look at that. He did it. So there you go, mate. That's my news favourite things this week. There was something about a Star Wars open world project going on, but to be honest, fuck that game. It's probably shit.
There are rumours circling about that, which could replace the hole that's been left by that single-player game that EA canned.
Oh, EA.
We shall see.
Good guys.
Lovely. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh. Well, thank you very much, buddy. That was your news.
Welcome,
and before that, it was my news, and that was, of course, the news.
The news.
So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 156. We will have a horde of different things next time round from the Funk, and also some really interesting stuff from Mel, who's been in touch this week to respond to... I think he's been slowly catching up, old Mel, because he's been kind of on his travels throughout the winter, so he's kind of catching up. He's got some replies for Funk and so on, so you can expect a good bit of Street Beat in 157, buddy. But I think that'll do us. This should be nice and editable for you in the very, very short space of time that you have to do it. What are we going to do for the rest of the evening, buddy? It's like 20 to 9.
It's early doors, mate. Normally, we're just starting around this time, but we're done. Yeah. I don't know.
We're done. I need to cook dinner, but I did we're having fajitas, and I pre-chopped all of the veg and meat, so we're good to go.
I'm going to go and blow my nose, because for some reason this past hour, it's just started streaming. I'm not happy about this.
No, that's not what you want. That's unfortunate as well.
I've been sneezing, so enjoy that. I mean, you have enjoyed that, so... Sorry.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the world's our mollusk in terms of games and stuff. I have got a hankering for some Rocket League this evening, actually.
That's ridiculous.
Has anyone else got... No? Not sure? Dust? Anyone?
Fortnite.
Not sure.
Putting it out there.
I deleted it a long time ago. And
I'll install it while you cook fajitas.
Absolutely, yeah. Please do. I really want to play that.
I know, right?
I'll line it up next to Monster Hunter in my library. It'd be brilliant.
Monster Hunter. We could play that.
I do have that installed. I guess we'll see. Maybe the old Funk will be online as well.
Who knows?
See if we can get something going.
I'm excited, though.
Mollusk World. Yeah, it's very exciting indeed, buddy.
Might just go to bed, though.
You could just do that. Fucking head off. Hit the old dusty trail, buddy.
Indeed.
Go for it.
Yep, that's it then. Job done.
There you go. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We will be back next week, and we'll be longer as well in every department, including the trousers. But until then, you can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, Facebook.com/thejfg podcast. Our Twitter handle is, of course, at the JFG Podcast. We're on all of those video streaming sites I mentioned earlier: YouTube, Mixer.com, Twitch.tv. Come and join our PS4 community, buddies. We're just the JFG podcast on your PS4. You can get stuck in. We get some interesting updates from Mel, from JJ, and various other members of the community as well. We're on SoundCloud /JustForGamers if you want to listen to an episode from 100 years ago. And of course, we're also on Google Plus, if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next week. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JFG podcast with Ash and me, Alex. To find out more, head to www.justforgamers.co.uk, Facebook /the JFG podcast, or Twitter where we are at the JFG podcast. Episodes go live every Sunday, and if you could pop onto iTunes and write us a quick review, we would love every inch of you, even if you got old and fat. Thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you next time.